school choice. Just think school choice, capital letters, and small letters school choice. Can you give us the distinction?
Yeah, so the not capital letters school choice is parents have a choice. They've had a choice now for decades in the United States. You can send your kids to private school, you can homeschool them, you can send them to public school, charter school, Montessori's. There's thousands of choices that you can pick from, and there's one that the public pays for via taxes.
Yeah.
And there's choices that are independent because whoever pays for them is going to have a say in how they're run and the curriculum and everything like that. So we've had education independence for a long time here in the United States. And so we compare that to the school choice movement, capital S and capital C.
Right.
That idea is that you'll hear the terms money's following the child, or the public school, if you have money going to it, that they're going to distribute public money to private schools or specific individuals who qualify to pay for any sort of educational option. And so, if you can, different states do it different ways, but some of them, like in Arizona, they'll give you $8,000 and you can apply that to your homeschool bill or your private school bill.
Yeah.
And so, that's what they're saying is school choice, is that the government is going to finance your choice, which ends up being really no choice at all. And so this was something Betsy DeVos, she was the education secretary in Trump's first term, and we talk about her a little bit in the book, not so much, but this week right now, there's a quote going on. And so this quote, I think, from her really illustrates that capital S, capital C. Let's stop and rethink the definition of public education. Today, it is often defined as one type of school funded by taxpayers, controlled by government. But if every student is part of the public, then every way and every place the student learns is ultimately of benefit to the public. That should be the new definition of public education.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's interesting because we have this in the book as we talk about the 10th plank of communism is free public school for everyone.
Right.
And so no doubt did Karl Marx's endgame have that be controlled by the government. But you also need to look at historically what was going on at that time and what did the word public mean. So in England, they still have public schools today. And what do we consider public schools here in America? Private schools. So all public schools meant when he wrote the free public schools at that time was schools that are open to the public. So that anyone could enroll their kids in, versus the aristocracy schools where you had to be a king or prince or well-connected to be getting into those. So for free public schools, like, he would have been all about this kind of school choice ideology. And so Betsy DeVos right there is just reframing the 10th plank of the Communist Manifesto. And so she probably not aware of that. She's one of those people that she's trying to do good for the kids. We need to get them out of this failing system. But what they don't understand is the system is who pays for it. That is the system. You're not taking kids in public school and putting them in private school. You're taking private schools and private education and turning it into public education. And this quote that's being passed around, celebrating everything that's going on right now, is very ironic, and that's the string of history that we pull through the book, because we know that these people's hearts in the right place, and if they have the accurate information about the system, then maybe they'll spend their time, energy, efforts, talents on actually things that will work, instead of wasting their time, their precious time on this planet, pursuing ideologies and legislation that will ultimately backfire and sell out what they were hoping to protect. And so it really is a Trojan horse. And behind the scenes, most honest people will admit that there's significant issues with it. But of course, they're marketing it and selling it and spending millions, if not billions of dollars on it, as we document in the book. Both sides of the aisle, Yeah, it's quite scary to think that in a decade from now, people won't even know that you could pay for your own education anymore if these laws keep expanding across the United States.